Evening to you all. Evening to you all. Evening, evening. Evening to you all. Evening to you all. How are we this wonderful evening? How are we? How are we this wonderful evening? How are we? How are we? How are we? So we are going to continue. We are on rewrite number 2 now. Okay, rewrite number 2. We are on rewrite number 2. Rewrite number 2. Rewrite number 2. We are on rewrite number 2. Okay, let me even write the question. Let me even write the question. Rewrite number 2. How are we? How are we? How are we? Let me even write the question. The question is even if Mavuto even if Mavuto played very well, comma, he failed to score a goal. Even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Then it's saying we should begin with no matter. Then it's saying that we should begin with the word, our helping word in this case, it's no matter. So the question reads, even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Then it says begin no matter. All right, so if you do have the answer, you can comment. What's the answer to this rewrite? If you do have the answer, you can comment. What's the answer to this rewrite? If you do have the answer, comment. What's the answer? The question reads, even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Then begin no matter. Who can try? Okay, who can try to answer this one? Can try to answer this one. All right, so the question reads, even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Then the question says, begin no matter. So the first key thing that you must understand, that the word no matter, it simply means regardless. Okay? The word no matter simply means regardless. Or if not just it is not just regardless, it also means even though. Okay, it also means even though. Okay, so the word no matter simply means regardless or even though. Even though. Okay, so now here if you check, our question here reads, even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. Alright, so now whenever you are writing a rewrite beginning with even though or no matter, mind you, you have first to start with the outcome. Okay, you have first to start with what? With the outcome. Okay, so even if Mavuto played very well, he failed to score a goal. So your answer, it will be as follows. You're going to say no matter goes with the word how. No matter how. Okay, I'm going to say no matter how well. Okay, you're going to say no matter how well Mavuto, mind you, Mavuto, it's a noun. It must be respected with its first letter to be capitalized. Whenever you're writing names of people, mind you, start with a capital letter. So Mavuto, okay, we're going to write Mavuto like this with a capital letter M. Whenever you're writing names of people, countries or cities, start with a capital letter. So you say no matter how. So no matter goes with how. No matter how well Mavuto, mind you, here we have played very well. So no matter how well Mavuto, no matter how well Mavuto, I'm going to say played. Okay, comma. Okay, what happened? He failed. Okay, he failed to score. He failed to score a goal. Full stop. No matter how well Mavuto played, comma, he failed to score a goal. So that's how one should do. Write it. Okay. If there's anyone with the other answer, you can comment. If you do have a different answer, mind you, there's no there is let me say, when it comes to rewrites they can have let me say 2 to 3 answers, because you must understand that whenever you are writing rewrites, you do not have to don't change the meaning. Okay, you don't have to change the meaning, you have to maintain the meaning. You can add up the words or you can minus some words, but maintain the meaning. Okay, you have to maintain the what? The meaning. Maintain the meaning. Okay, you have to maintain the meaning. You can add up some words or you can remove some words, but make sure, even though you are adding or removing some words, make sure that you maintain the meaning of the what? Of the sentence. So no matter how well Mavuto played, he failed to score a goal. This sentence simply means, it's more like just the first one. Okay, that's how it is. So when they say begin with something, mind you, don't rub this helping word no matter. Don't rub and you write. No, just continue writing. Okay, this one is more like just a starting point, helping you to say that okay, you should do begin with this word, but make sure you have to maintain the meaning. Don't change the meaning. Okay, no matter how well Mavuto played, comma, he failed to score a goal. So mind you, whenever you're writing names of people or cities or countries, make sure that you start with a word with a capital letter. So this answer also can be written like this. You can also write it as let me say begin. You can also write it as since it says begin with no matter. Since it says begin no matter. All right. Since it says begin no matter. Also, you can write it like let me say, you can say no matter how. You can say no matter how good. You can say no matter how good Mavuto, mind you, a capital letter, it's a name of a person. No matter how good Mavuto, you can say no matter how good Mavuto's can say no matter how good Mavuto's performance was, comma, he did not score. You've seen? Also one and the same thing. No matter how good Mavuto's performance was, he did not score. Also, anyone who writes this one which is on top and also even the last one is still one and the same. All right. So that is simply the answer of rewrite number 2. Can you move to number 3? So number 3, it reads she number 3, it reads she said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. She said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. Then the rewrite begins, says we should begin with she said. Okay. There are even some quotation marks. All right. So it says she said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. She said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. Then begin with the word, or begin with she said. So you have to be very much careful, because these are simply direct and reported speech rewrites. So whenever you are handling this kind of rewrites, you have to be very much careful, because our question says she said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. You have to understand that there's some certain words whereby here they must change. Mind you, whenever you are changing reported, okay, whenever you are changing reported speech, okay, whenever you are changing reported speech to direct what speech, okay, there are some words whereby they must change. Okay, there are some certain words whereby they must do what? They must change. Whenever you are writing a rewrite from reported speech to direct speech. Now, how would you know that this is a reported speech? Mind you, in a reported speech, there are no quotation marks. You won't see any quotation marks. This, I've seen this. You will not see them in a reported speech. Mind you, reported speech, these are simply, let me say, it can be a sentence which is in past tense. Okay, when you are reporting, no wonder we normally write report in past tense. Okay, it's more like you're reporting. Your language must be formal and also in the past tense. So reported speech to direct speech. So direct speech simply means present. Okay, as if things are happening now. But reported speech simply means in the past, like the way it is here. It says she said, not she is saying, or I will what? No. But here it reads she said, which means it already happened. So she said that she would meet all the concerned parties that day. Now here, if you check, it says she said, then there are some quotation marks. These quotation marks simply means we have to change. Okay, we have to change from past tense to present tense. which means there's some certain words here which they must change. There's some certain words that we must change in order for us to make this same sentence to sound as if it's in what? To sound as if it's in present tense. Okay? So if you check, we have she said that she would. So the first word that is going to change here, it's would. Mind you, would, it's a past tense. Okay? Would. Okay? The present tense of would, it's what? It's will. You've seen? So the present tense of the word would, it's what? It's will. Okay? And it's not only would that normally changes. The words, they're about, let me say approximately, they're about 11 or 10. Okay? So would, it is the past tense, then will, it's the present tense. So would in reported speech, then in reported speech, but in present tense, it will become what? Will. Even if even this word could, here in direct speech, it will become a can. Okay? So there's some certain words whereby they'll do what? They are going to change. All right? So you have to know that there's some certain words whereby they must do what? They must change. Now let us follow the question. For more of these words, if you want the more of this word, you can simply inbox me. Okay. So now let us follow now the question. So if you check, we have this word. Our first word here is what? It's would. So would is going to change to what? Okay. So now apart from the same would, what is the other word that is going to change? What is the other word that is going to change? All right. The other word that is going to change is she. Okay. She is going to change to the word I. Okay. So the word she or he, they are going to change to the word I. Mind you, must sound as if you are what? You are your sentence should sound as if it's in present tense, as if things are happening right now. Okay, so the word here she is going to change to I. So she said I, don't say she said she. It's wrong. So she said I, okay, as if things are happening now. So she, then it will change to I. Then apart from the same as she, what other word do you think is going to change? Okay, the other word that is going to change is that day. So that day is going to change to today. So the word that day is going to change to today. Okay? So the word that day is going to change to what? Today. All right. So these are the words that must change in this sentence. Now let us now rewrite. So our answer, it will be like this. She said I, okay? I, mind you, I is always capitalized whenever it's alone. Okay? Whenever I it's alone, mind you, don't forget to capitalize it. Write I alone in capital letters. But if it's together with a word, maintain it in a small what later. Like for example, if I want to write in, it can be like this. If I it's alone, mind you, it must always be what? Capitalized. Take note. So it will be, mind you, I, if you check, it says what? She said she would meet all the concerned parties that day. So you're going to say, I will, as if things are happening right now. Say, I will meet. Okay? To say, I will meet. Okay, I will meet all the concerned. I will meet all the concerned parties today. That's the answer. I will meet all the concerned parties today. I will meet all the concerned parties today. Okay? That's how it should be. Okay? Or even if you write it like this, if you say, she said, I shall meet everyone concerned today, it's still correct. If you write it like this, she said, I shall meet everyone concerned today, is still correct. Mind you, there's no one answer when it comes to rewrites. You just have to maintain the meaning. Okay, so we move. Number 4. So number 4, it reads she said, okay, number 4, okay, number 4, it reads, as soon as they brought the issue to my attention, comma, they left. Then it says we should begin with the word scarcely. Okay, it says as soon as they brought the issue to my attention, they left. Begin scarcely. Okay, I'm giving it to you. Try. I'm giving it to you. Try. I am not seeing the comments. I think it's network or so. I'm giving it to you. You can try. I'm not seeing the comments. Is it network? Okay, so it reads, as soon as they brought the issue to my attention, comma, they left. Begin scarcely. Okay, I'm giving it to you. The comments are not showing here. Don't know if it's the network. As soon as they brought the issue to my attention, they left. All right. So it goes like this. As soon as they brought the issue to my attention, they left. So you must understand that these kinds of rewrites, they normally have 4 helping words. And these 4 helping words, they normally play a very important role. You must understand, if they won't be scarcely, then they will be what? They're going to say begin hardly. Okay? You're going to see scarcely. If not scarcely, then it will be begin hardly. If not hardly, then you're going to see begin no sooner. Okay? So, take note. You're going to see begin scarcely, begin hardly, begin no sooner, or they can say begin barely. Okay? We have 4 powerful words here that one has to understand very well in order for him or her to understand these kinds of rewrites very well. Okay? You must understand that scarcely, hardly, and barely. These words, the 3 words, they go with the word when. But no sooner goes with the word than. So the equation that is used whenever we are writing this kind of what? Whenever we are writing this kind of the same rewrites, it's like this. You must understand that all these words, scarcely, barely, no sooner, they all go with the word what? You can start with what? Had. You can say scarcely had, or you can say scarcely did. Okay? When the rewrite here says begin scarcely, or when the rewrite says begin hardly, or when the rewrite says begin no sooner, you say no sooner had or no sooner did. You can say scarcely had or scarcely did. Or when they say begin hardly, you can say hardly had or hardly did. That's how we write it. All right? That's how we write it. Now we're going to say scarcely had. Mind you, when you write hard, this simply means you are going to maintain, okay? You are going to maintain the what? You are going to maintain the verb in the question, okay? You are going to maintain. So if I say that you are going to maintain, if the verb in the actual sentence it's in past tense, you are going to write it directly the way it is in the past what? In the past tense. Okay? If the verb in the question it's in past tense, you have to maintain it in the same what? Past what? Tense. Like for example, the example I can give of a verb, it's what? Let me say walked. Mind you, a verb is an action word. Okay? You can say walked. Okay? Walked, it's not past tense. So whenever you are rewriting the same scarcely, hardly, no sooner, or barely, when you write hard, this simply means the main verb in the actual sentence must be maintained in the what? In its past what? Tense. So walked. So hard simply means you have to maintain the verb in the actual sentence in its what? Past tense. So walked, it's a what? It's a verb. So when you say scarcely hard, then walked, you should maintain it the way it is. But now when you say scarcely did, okay? Did simply means you have to change. You have to change the what? You have to change the main verb in the what? In the sentence from past tense to what? To present. Okay? So this walked will change from a walked to what? To walk. So when you say begin, when you see a question saying scarcely, if you want to begin with did, mind you, you have to change the verb. Okay? You have to change. If the verb in the question is walked, you have to change it from walked to what? To walk. That's how it is. Now let us try it so that you get the concept very well. That's right. So the question reads, as soon as they brought the issue to my attention, they left. So begins crossly. So we're going to say scarcely had, okay? Mind you, this word, as soon as, you've seen? So this word, as soon as, it also means immediately, okay? It also means what? Immediately. It's not each and every time that you are going to see the word as soon as in these what kinds of rewrites. You are going to see the word immediately. So immediately simply means, and when the rewrite says begin scarcely, when the rewrite begin with the word hardly, no sooner, or barely, and if there are these words in the sentence, mind you, you must not rewrite them. These words, they must not be present. Okay? So as soon as, it's going to replace the word scarcely. Okay? So this word as soon as, it must not be in the question, in the answer. Okay? The answer that you'll be writing. This as soon as must disappear. It's more like this as soon as, it will be replaced with the word what? Scarcely. That's how it is. So don't write scarcely had as soon as. It's more like you are repeating things. Okay? So you're going to say scarcely hard. Now this one, you have seen? As soon as. Okay? It must not be in the answer. So where there is as soon as, now the outcome. Okay? So we are going to start from here. They brought the issue to my attention. Yes. So we're going to say scarcely hard. Then you're going to write they brought. Mind you, brought, it's a what? It's a verb. Okay? Brought, it's a verb. Okay? So here there's had. And our verb in this case here it's what? It's brought. Brought, it's past tense, mind you. Brought, it's past tense. So we're going to say scarcely had they brought the issue to my attention. Okay, now where there's a comma here, you are going to replace the comma with the word when. Okay, going to say when they left. That's how we write this kind of a question. So it will be begin scarcely. You're going to say scarcely had they brought the issue to my attention when they left. Don't forget. Okay, so it's scarcely had they brought the issue to my attention when they left. Mind you, scarcely, barely, and hardly. Okay, they all go with the word what? When. Where there's a comma in the sentence, you have to replace with the word what? When. Okay, when you see a rewrite, begin with scarcely, begin barely, begin hardly. Mind you, where there's a comma, you must what? Replace with the word what? When. That's what it means. Okay, but if the rewrite says begin no sooner, okay, if the rewrite says begin no sooner, you have to replace where there's the same comma with the word than. Also, this rewrite can be written like this. You can say, scarcely did they bring. This brought, it's going to change to the word bring. Okay, did simply means the verb in the actual sentence. It's supposed to be changed from what? Past tense to what? To present tense. So, scarcely did they bring the issue to my attention when they are left. Okay, so this is the answer. So this is the answer. Okay, we move to number 5. We move to number 5. We can only access the healthy post when the bridge is repaired. Then it says we must begin with the word not until. It says begin with the word not until. Okay, we can only access the healthy post when the bridge is repaired. We can only access the healthy post when the bridge is repaired. Mind you, you must understand that when the rewrite says begin with not until, okay, we are simply dealing with what? Conditional what? Sentences. So you have to know that you are dealing with what? Conditional what? Sentences. Okay? The comments are not showing.